Was it like the
I mentioned yesterday. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. Please listen carefully. Alright? This is the exact same format, except it'll be about half this length tomorrow. Alright? So question number 1, state the restriction on the variable. The restriction would be what? X cannot equal -7. Any questions with that? Alright? Number 2, X cannot equal 5. Now for number 3,
X cannot equal 4 or
yeah, let's factor first. So X minus 4, good job, and X plus 3. Do we agree? So X cannot equal 4 or X cannot equal -3. And then in question number 4, X cannot equal plus or minus 2. Anybody have any issues? Alright. Yes. What number squared is 4? 2 or -2. Remember, you're just factoring it. X plus 2, X minus 2 if you're not seeing that. You see what I'm saying? Alright. Now the rest of the test is all about factoring. Alright, so number 5, 4 parentheses X minus 3. So now what happens to the 2X minus 3's? So your final answer is just 4. Alright? Number 6, what can I factor out? 5. X plus 2y over 15. Am I agreeing with that? And then what happens to 5/15ths? Right, so it becomes X plus 2y over 3. And if you want to put the 1 there, you can. Is it necessary to put the 1? No. Alright, I'm just going to sit and just stare. Okay, that's worked well for you. Alright? You got to do something. You're factoring. You're factoring. You've known factoring for a long time. Number 7, we're factoring out of what? 3. So the top factors to 3 times y plus 8. The denominator factors to and then what happens?
y plus 8 cancel out.
Very simple. 3 over 1 minus 8. Those things that are the same cancel out, not things that are different. The y minus 8 is different than the y plus 8. Every time we're canceling things that are exactly the same. The x minus 3 and the x minus 3 were the same. The 5 and the 15 reduces to 1 and 3. Are you with me? Now look, here's something I didn't talk about that's going to be on the test. Alright, now I want to show you how simple this is. Alright, but people for some reason can't see it. If I said 5 minus 3 over 3 minus 5, what would that equal? There's no reason to guess. Come on, I'm only asking you what's 5 minus 3. What's finally? Alright, what's 5 minus 3? 2. What's 3 minus 5? -2. So what's 2 divided by -2? Wow, I'm not sure what anybody else was saying. Alright, now I'm going to show you something else. What is 7 minus 11 over 11 minus 7?
-4 over positive.
So it is -1. For those of you guys who are doing the math. It's always what? It's always -1. If I say, for example, x plus 3 over 3 plus x, that's what? That's +1. Right? Now, if I say x minus 3, and then I say something like 3 plus x. Does that even cancel at all? No, they're not the same. All right. So when the number is written with subtraction, right, but in opposite or reverse order, it always reduces to what? Negative 1. All right. So 15 minus x over x minus 15 is just what? It's just negative 1. All right. Now mathematically, why is that so? All right. So if I look at 15 and I factor out a negative 1, that becomes negative 15 plus x, and then x minus 15 on the bottom. Does everybody see that? I just factor out a negative 1. Now the numerator, just to show you, becomes x minus 15 and x minus 15. So what happens to 2x minus 15s? They cancel, so your final answer is, you can do all of that, or you can just remember, x minus 15 over 15 minus x is what? Negative 1. All right, is everybody with me? So again, just to make sure you're hearing me, if I say, for example, 3 minus x over x minus 3, that's what? Negative 1. If I say 3x minus 4y over 4y minus 3x, that's what? Negative 1. All right? All right, here we go. Factoring, number 9. The top factors to what? X plus 7 times x minus 7. The bottom factors to? Good job. X plus 7, x plus 5. So what happens to 2x plus 7s? Connor, are you with me? Yeah. All right. And so I end up with x minus 7 over x plus 5. All right. Here we go. What's common in the numerator? 3x. And so what am I left with? 2x minus 1. Now what do you suppose is on the bottom? 2x minus 1. All right, now I'm really trying to help you figure this out. So 2x minus 1. I need a what? 6x squared, right? So then this has to be 3x. I need a positive 5. Well, I have a negative 1. So it has to be a negative 5. Now we're going to double check. Negative 3 and negative 10 makes what? So it's really simple if you learn it that way. Really simple. Doesn't always work, but it works most of the time. So now what happens? What am I canceling? Exactly. So I'm left with, and the 3x is canceled. No, bounded by addition and subtraction. Yes, sir. Good job. Well, because I knew 2x minus 1 was on the top. And we're working on what? Reducing fractions. You hear what I'm saying? Now, you might have to just do that the long way if you don't understand that, but I'm going to show you throughout this where you're using what you have to help you factor the other one. It's much easier if you learn it that way. No. These two are connected by addition and subtraction. Right? If that was 3x times 5 and 3x, you could cross out the 3x's. But addition and subtraction you can't. Hey, Hayes, did you understand me? All right. 11. Here we go. These are easier. Reduce 36 over 42. What goes in? Right? Divide by 6, right? 6 over 7. And then I would have, everybody with me? Right? Reducing fractions. 12. So the top is what? Yeah. Now the bottom you have to be careful. No, I knew you were going to say that. You can't reverse the order with subtraction. So the denominator is going to be what? 5 plus x and 5 minus x. Everybody agree what I'm saying? X squared minus 25 is not the same as 25 minus x squared. Right? So now, which ones can I cancel? And that reduces to a negative 1. That reduces to a negative 1. Did you not do question number, would we do number 8? Right? So use that information. Number 8 is number what? Number 12. The x minus 5 and the 5 minus x crosses out to a what? So your answer is negative 1 parentheses x minus 5 over 5 plus x. What?
Why can you cross out the x minus 5 and 5 minus x if you want?
I just said go back and listen to my explanation on number 8. It's the same. Didn't you agree with me? 15 minus x over x minus 15 is negative 1.
Yeah. But why can you cross out the x minus 5 and 5 minus x if you want?
Look at number 8. We did it a bunch of times. If I said, what's 5 minus 3 over 3 minus 5, you told me it was what? Exactly. 7 minus 11 over 11 minus 7, what's that? What is 15 minus x over x minus 15? What is 5 minus x over x minus 5? So what is your question?
I don't understand why you can cross that out.
I just explained everything to you right up here. I even said to you, if you don't understand, I'll show you the math behind it. So I'm going to show you the math one more time. Right? Do you agree you can cancel out like x plus 5 over x plus 5? And get what? Exactly. So now I'm going to show you. Alright? This is not the same. That's a very good recognition. Those are not the same. So I'm going to factor out a negative 1. When I factor out a negative 1, that becomes negative 15 plus x. Do you agree with that? Because negative 1 times negative 15 is positive 15, right? And negative 1 times positive x is negative x. Does that make sense? You sure? Okay, over x minus 15. Now, is x minus 15 the same as negative 15 plus x? It's kind of hard to see, so let's rewrite it. Negative 1, do you agree x minus 15 is the same as negative 15 plus x? Look right here, just so you can visualize. See that negative 15? That's negative 15. See how this is positive x? That's positive x. So they're the same. Do you agree now? So negative 15 plus x is the same as x minus 15, right? Over x minus 15. Now do the x minus 15s cancel? Because they are the same. And what are you left with? There you have it, kiddo. Right? So if I say to you, what does that equal to? If I say to you 2x plus minus 3 over 3 minus 2x. If I say to you 5 minus x, or x minus 5 over 5 minus x, you're going to tell me that's. There you go. Good? All right. Anybody have any other questions with that now? All right. Because you want to cancel x minus 5 over x 5 plus x?
Why do you make the 5 positive?
All right. You must not be doing a good job, so I'm going to try one more time. This is where I'm at. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I factored that. So these are now out, and this is out. So I'm asking you, what is x minus 5 over 5 minus x? So I'm not sure what you're asking me.
What do you have? Like, what was the final answer?
I wrote the final answer. Negative 1, x minus 5 over 5 plus x. Right? Can you reduce x minus 5 and 5 plus x? No. You cannot. You can't reduce it to negative 1 either. All right? Good questions. Come on now. Hopefully you're listening. Here we go. So now 49. What do I reduce by?
7.
And so I end up with
7 over 5.
7 over 5. Hold up. Just the numbers. 7 over 5. All right. Connor, are you with me? Now, I have what? Final answer.
7 over 5. A 5.
Everybody happy with that? A to the 5th and B to the 4th is in the bottom. Right? All right, here we go. 14. There's a negative out in front, so be careful.
Reduce by 12.
Reduced by 12, so we end up being
2x.
no. 2 over 5. I think it's important to reduce the numbers first. Reduce the numbers first. All right, then look at the variables. So I end up with what?
2x.
There's a y. Let's get in the denominator. Any questions? What? How many are on the top, Connor? How many x's on the top? 11. How many on the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
So if you cross 2 of them out, how many do you have left? That's right, 9, because 11 minus 2 is 9. So that's why it's x to the 9th on the top. How many y's can you cross out? 8. So how many are left on the top if you take 8 away? That's correct, none. How many are left on the bottom? There you go. That's that simple. All right. Here we go, 15. All right. This one's a little bit harder because it involves a leading coefficient that's not a 1. All right, but remember what I tried to tell you. I like doing the bottom first, all right, because it's all plus on the bottom. I think it's easier. So I end up with
2x plus 5x.
all right. Then the only factors of 5 are 5 and 1. So you should be getting better mentally about where to put them. So here we go. Everybody with me on that? Now, the one on the top is either going to have a what? A 2x plus 5 or a... Now, do you think it's x plus 1? No, because that would force the other one to have a 15. Right? So I want to just try what? Bless you. I want to just try 2x plus 5. Now I need 2x squared, so this over here would be an x. I need a negative 15, so this would have to be a negative 3. I really hope you're listening to what I'm trying to show you. Or it makes it so much easier to do the factoring if you can do that. Now, of course, I want you to double check your work, right? So this would be 5 minus 6, which is negative 1, which is what we're shooting for in the middle. Yes, quick. You have a question? You just... Okay, so now what happens to the 2x plus 5s now? They cancel, so you're left with x minus 3 over x plus 1. I really hope you're listening to me on how to factor. It makes it much easier if you can do that. All right, here we go. Okay, 4x squared minus 3, that just factors into 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3, right? And the 2x plus 3's cancel, so you're left with, 2x minus 3 over 1 or just 2x minus 3, I don't care. Pretty good? Connor, are you catching up? All right. All we're doing is, this is nothing new. Just factoring, 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 cross out, cross out, cross out. That's all we're doing. All right, here we go. Now, does everybody see 17's ugly, correct? Now, I prefer to do which one? The one on the top, because it has all what? It's all positives. All right? So I'm going to break it down into 2 sets of parentheses, and right off the bat, I just say 3x and 2x, because I start with the middle terms. Now I need 17, so I got to figure out where the 5 would go, and mentally I'm saying, what's 5 times 2? 10. What's 5 times 3? 15. So I'm going to put it over here because I know 2x, right, and 15x makes 17x if they're both what? Positive. All right? Now, for those of you guys who are trying to be great, what factor is obviously on the bottom? 2x plus 5 is obviously on the bottom. Because there's no way 3x plus 1 can be on the bottom. Is everybody hearing me? There's a 4. You really need to understand that. All right, I'm telling you, that's why people can be done with this in 10 minutes. And some people take 10 hours. All right? So on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and put 2x plus 5. And then I need 4x squared, so that has to be 2x. And I mean a minus 15, so that's a negative 3. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I always want you to check. Negative 6, positive 10 makes positive 4. So we are correct. 2x plus 5's go away. Final answer. 3x plus 1 over 2x minus 3.
Okay, so you know it's negative 15?
Yeah.
Can't you not? I thought like you couldn't make it like a plus 5. Like, it doesn't have to be negative 5 and negative 3.
No, because two negatives multiplied together would make it positive 15.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Good. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. A little better every time. All right, so what goes into 36 and 81? 9. So we have 4 ninths. How many x's on top? 2. How many left on the bottom?
2.
And then the z's? That's right. Wow. Now continue to do the work without looking at it. All right, I told you, easy. All right, here we go. 19. Now, which one's the easiest one to factor? The bottom is x plus 7 and x minus 7. All right. Now, on the top, it's not hard anyway. Right? X and x, but we want it to be negative, so it's probably negative 7, correct? So it'd be negative 7 and positive 4. What happens to the 2 minus x minus 7's? So you're left with x plus 4 over x plus 7. All right. Number 20, what's common? X, x minus 2. So what do you think's left on the bottom? Exactly. So it's going to be x minus 2 and then x plus 3. What happens to the 2x minus 2's? So you're left with x over x plus 3. Everybody feeling good about that? All right, that's just a review of Monday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday. All right, now the rest of it is what we did yesterday. Now, if you can do what we just did, listen to me, then today, the rest of it's what? Easy. Because it's just now 2 fractions instead of 1. That's all it is, if you can factor. All right? So again, I tried to remind you to try to eliminate the numbers first. All right? So I'm looking at 4 is 1, 12 is 3, 1, 9, 1, 2. I don't care how you do it, but you should see that it's 1/2. All right, does it matter that you do it how I crossed it out? No. You can cross it out however you see fit. It should reduce down to what? 1/2. Everybody agree with that? Now, how many A's are left on the top? I know. A squared. How many are left on the bottom? How many B's are left on the bottom? 4. What? How did I get 12 to equal 1? So I want you to do this. You with me? All right? There's so many ways to reduce that. All right? You could divide by 9 first, and there's so many ways. Okay? You got that. Okay, 22. 4x squared minus 9 factors 2. 2x plus 3. And 2x minus 3. Alright, now what happens to the 2x plus 3's? They cancel. Alright, now please be careful. I don't like putting crosses all over my paper because then eventually you kind of miss things. Alright, so I have the fraction 2/6, which reduces to what? 1/3. And then x over x squared leaves me with an x on the bottom, correct? And then 2x minus 3. You guys agree with that? Any issues? Did I make a mistake? You're reducing that fraction. Think back to the good old 5th grade days. You can reduce it however you want. Okay, I'll go slow for you, James. 4 goes into 4, 1. 4 goes into 12, 3. 9 goes into 18, 2. 9 goes into 27, 3. 3 divided by 3, 1, 1.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, we have a division problem. So, division. So, again, I'm just going to do 8a squared over 9b times 6b to the 5th over 4a cubed. So, division just becomes multiplication. You multiply by the reciprocal. All right? So now, 4 and 8. 3 goes into 6 twice, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So what fraction am I looking at? 4/3. I would be left with an a in the denominator and a b to the 4th in the numerator. Connor, did you hear what I said about multiplying by the reciprocal? Dividing, change to multiplication, then you flip it. Oh, goodness. How many A's are on the top, buddy? It's all right. You understand, right? All right. You're good now, right? All right, let's talk about 24 now, guys. All right, here we go. 3x minus 5 over 6x squared times 3x. Now, what can I factor out of a 6x minus 10? 2, and then I'm left with 3x minus 5. Okay, the 3x minus 5s are nice. They cancel. All right. 3 and 6, 1, 2, 1/4, right?
Well, how is it just, why can't it just be 2? Because 3x goes into 6x twice.
No. Bounded by addition and subtraction can't reduce. 3x minus 5 and the 6x squared cannot reduce. Watch. You mean things bounded by addition and subtraction cannot be reduced. All right, here we go, guys. 25. Sorry. This should be a +1, guys. Just fix that real quick. Come on. Just make that a +1. Alright, so this is kind of annoying, but 6x squared, x plus 1 over x times x minus 2 times 3x squared, x minus 2 over 9x cubed, x plus 1. Wow, so it's kind of nice. X plus 1, x minus 2. Right? That was easy. Right? Now let's look at the fraction. I'm going 3/9 reduces to 1/3. That's a 1 and that's a 2. Everybody else get 2? Right? Just 2 over 1. And then, wow. So again, guys, I'm just telling you, I'm frustrated because it's just, if you get in trouble, just write the numbers down like that. Everybody see that? What's 6 times 3? 18 divided by 9. Come on, guys. Everybody see that, right? Now, there's 4x on top and 4 on the bottom, so the answer is just what? The answer is just 2. Is everybody with me or not? The answer is just 2. All right, here we go. X squared minus 4 factors 2. X plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 3, x plus 2, x minus 8, x plus 3, x minus 8, x minus 2. I think that's correct. Right? Do we agree? So let's see what crosses out. X minus 8, X minus 2, X plus, wow, everything canceled. So just as a what? Good, it's a 1. Right, when everything cancels, remember you're dividing. When everything cancels, it's a 1. Now listen, there's not that much left, right? 4 problems left. All right. Study.
Wait, the X minus 2 don't cancel.
Oh, hold up, hold up.
It's all the same stuff. Wait, X plus 2, X minus 2. Oh, I just put an X.
So you're trying to tell me I'm wrong?
Numbers are wrong. Yes, I just tried to.
But I am what?
Why?